long-standing politician Richard Azan for the Northwest Clarendon seat. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, other situations that are buzzing in the news. So with just a few days to go before the national general election in Jamaica slated for September the 3rd, 2025, Northwest Clarendon is one of those seats that I'll be monitoring closely based on the previous election that was held back in 2020 with Mr. Richard Azan going up against Philip Henriquez for the Northwest Clarendon seat. So this was a very closely contested election in Clarendon. We saw Philip Henriquez becoming successful to become the Member of Parliament over Richard Azan from the People's National Party. So back in the 2020 election with Mr. Richard Azan and Mr. Henriquez of the Jamaica Labour Party and Mr. Azan from the People's National Party, Mr. Azan got 6,009 votes and Mr. Henriquez got 6,124 votes. Now we're going to look on the percentage of voters as it relates to these findings that were held back in 2020. So for Mr. Henriquez got a 50.26% of the votes to Mr. Azan 49.32% of the votes. Now this was a very closely contested election in Northwest Clarendon with a margin win of just over 115 individuals. So that was the margin of win between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. But a win is just a win, so it doesn't really matter when it comes on to that. But when we look now on the voter turnout, so in the constituency of Northwest Clarendon, eligible voters, you had 27,173 persons that were eligible to vote. However, on the day of the election, only 12,184 persons turned out to vote. Then you look at these statistics, it's very clear that majority of the voters did not turn out in order to vote for either political parties. So I know in this general election, the year 2025, both parties are going to try their very best to see if they can get more voters to come out in order to vote for their respective parties. So the current Northwestern Clarendon seats currently sits with the Jamaica Labour Party, and newcomer Warren Newby is trying to contest that seat against long-standing politician Mr. Richard Azan. Mr. Azan, who served as Member of Parliament in the constituency of Northwest Clarendon on more than one occasion, is not going to be a walkover for newcomer Warren Newby. The constituency of Northwestern Clarendon consists of the areas of Spaldings, Reaches, Frankfield and Thompson Town. Warren Newby, who has been on a constituency tour in Northwest Clarendon, is hoping to retain the seat for the Jamaica Labour Party. We now go over to a community meeting that was held recently.
I applied for the seat and was hoping to be your representative. So I got a good cousin right out of Texas that all we do is to come when elections are near and then they don't see us anymore and on. Got a good tongue lashing. But on my second visit I was able to see much more residents, and I was challenged about the road conditions, and I gave them my own personal commitment that for Labor Day something was going to happen. And lo and behold, when I said so, No one believed me. Them say I kept it. And I live long enough to see them down there, hard at work. At the end of the day, we were all proud of what had been achieved. So, clap for yourself.
Show on your Open the water and time.
So, I want to say a couple of things to you in this opening. It is a very Mount Pleasant, Garlogi, Banana Ground, 5 miles are on what I would say is the western border of the constituency. And it's particularly difficult because you don't do business in Thompson, right? If you want something, you are headed to Mandeville, am I right? And if it's not available in ports, or you want probably better prices, you go to Mandeville. So, you are more commercially linked to Manchester than you are to Clarendon. And if the administrative center of the constituency is Frankfield, that's like miles and miles away. You're not going to get there. That's true. And if it is Spaldings, it is still a trip to get to Spaldings. Because you probably have to go to Porus, then to Williamsfield, and then get something from Williamsfield to go up to Spaldings also. So, we have to look at how we administrate to include communities like Mount Pleasant and Dede and Garlogi and Banana Ground and 5 miles, Whitney Turn. And that is why I know the position I've taken, that I'm going to have a mobile office. Is a sound position. Yeah? It's a sound position. Because what we will do is to move the office around that persons on the outskirts of the seat can get access to the Member of Parliament and to the resources of the state. So we'll take the office here, we'll take with it the government services that you want to see. So sometimes it will be the Ministry of Labour, sometimes it will be the Land Agency, sometimes it will be the Passport and Immigration Services, sometimes it will be the Child Development Agency, etc. But to move these resources from where they are and take them closer to you, that you can present your issues and have solutions to them. I've gone one step further, and I have charged my campaign manager, Sheldon, I've charged my campaign manager, Sheldon Sinclair, to commence the development of an app for smartphones or some sort of program for WhatsApp that you can, from the comfort of your home, send a requisition to the office of the Member of Parliament. So we are going to use the technology to shorten the distance between the office and these communities. Stay right on your yard, go up on the internet, and whop, send off. A response must come to you, and the follow-up takes place after. That, I believe, will solve some of the issue of disconnection that these communities sometimes feel from the political directorate. And I hope through my stewardship, I don't hear people say, "Oh no, we got wrong, yeah. Oh no, we got way." Right? And this community, you know, I have a duty to take care of this community because of a man called Clifton Stone.
Hey! Yeah, show up!
Because he loves Northwest Clarendon. But he talks about Mount Pleasant with a particular sense of pride. And were it not for the late I am sure he would have been here. But you know, he's advanced in age. And though I've taken him on the road a couple of times, I have to do so sparingly because we have to give thought that he's not as young as he used to be. That's all? A big man now. Then I want to share with you a vision I have for this community, or this section of the constituency specifically. You have one of the best farmers organization on this side. There is a property called the Whitney property. Let me see the hands of those who found down there. They gone to church and gone and they did. I want to turn Whitney property into an aqua park. Which means we irrigate the full property. We put in the drainage system to make sure that the land no longer floods. We put in cold storage down there that we can deal with the post-harvest of your crops. We put in other shared services to include fertilization, to include pest control, and for the farmers that are there to achieve their full potential. And when I called the Jamaican Bauxite Institute to tell them that this was my vision, immediately the director I was speaking to latched onto it. So we're going to take the Bauxite Institute and agro-invest rather and the larger Ministry of Agriculture to make an investment in that property, that 12 months per the year production can be taking place down there. And beyond that, to ensure that good agricultural practices are there, so the highest quality products are coming out and headed to the local and the export market. I also spoke to Councillor Henry, who is right here. Oh, he's on that side. And I asked him if the government has any lands in Mount Pleasant. And he told me yes. Mount Pleasant is a stone throw away from the highway. It is easy to connect Mount Pleasant to the townships of Mandeville, to the townships of Maypen, and even Old Harbour. Because you just get onto the highway and you are in these major townships in a short space of time. Would you agree? I want a housing development in Mount Pleasant. I want to get access to the government land to put an NHD development here, that the young professionals who are looking for housing but don't want to be in these urbanized spaces can get access to good quality, affordable homes. That will be transformative for this era, because jobs will be created while you are building the homes. Jobs will be created after the homes are built. And in fact, the introduction of the new community will create business opportunities for all of the residents that are here. And I'm walking in faith towards delivering these things. So, those will be two mega multi-million-dollar projects that will come to this side of the constituency. And when I say these things, sometimes people say, I don't know if you're serious. And I'll say, if you're not serious, man. Serious about it. I think it's doable. The housing requires water. Housing requires water. And there's a water problem right throughout this belt, going all the way up to Banana Ground, Cumberland, and even the adjoining communities in Manchester. Right? The belt carries area and so on. But I am assured by multiple different sources that we have enough water. One person has suggested digging wells in Cumberland. That's one suggestion that I've heard. The Peace River surface water system is not sufficient to take care of all of these areas. So, it requires us to look at the various sources and see through a feasibility study what is going to be best to provide water for all of these communities. Where you are not at the highest point. So those on top of the hill, we just need to find the water up on the hill. And then it can come down. That's all? We can get it down. We just need to find it up there. So it's either through wells or one of the sources in one of the gullies. We're going to see which is strong enough for us to harvest from and to distribute it downwards. These are major stuff that requires some work. So don't believe it's something that you get in year one. Alright? Because we have to start by doing the feasibility. I'm talking about water that is not running in our river. That you can just go put one pipe on it and Cali can go treat it. So we have to do various tests and surveys to find out what is the strongest, best source. And then cost it, how much will it take? And that requires us to count how many houses and make a forecast as to how many other houses are going to be added over the next 25 to 30 years. And then to develop the scheme with that in mind. This is how the Jamaica Labour Party approaches things. You know? Oh. In 2016, when the Prime Minister told civil servants that he was going to move the threshold to 1.5 million, the PNP said, it can't work. What did they say? Sir, stop. They said it couldn't work. They said then that it was going to bankrupt the country. One of them was even bold enough. He was on radio saying it is reckless. Today, after we have moved it and we have indicated how we are going to move it forward over the next couple of years in a way that does not disturb the fiscal balance that we've created. I hear them now saying they're gone to 3.5. If it were not so serious, it would be laughable. It would be laughable. And this is the way they go about things. Without serious thought and analysis. Saying it because it is attention grabbing. And it will sway unsuspecting people. Yeah. You know, we have to be careful in this election. That we don't, through personal grosses, reward the PNP with the government. You know, I use this analogy on the road. Imagine you are sibling to one other person. You and my brother or sister. And two of them, your parents have. him go and take the title for your parents' house and mortgage it. And then turn around, waste the money when mortgage it for. And say now pay back the money. You know, you say your mother and father, they're going to lose their house. And you take your time now and start pay off the debt when you open your house. And when you don't pay off the debt, you just say your mother and father, they plan to will the house to the brother we mortgage it. Nothing can go so? Nothing can go so? And that is what the Jamaican people would have want to happen. I don't believe it. The People's National Party, who racked up the debt in Jamaica to 145% of GDP, would want to inherit a Jamaica that has a debt to GDP of less than 70%. They would love to get it back. That they can go back into the recklessness that put us into the position that we are escaping from. You hear people that complain about road, people that complain about water. Let me tell you something. I heard the former Prime Minister Bruce Golding say on one occasion that we were spending more than $500 million per day to service debt. What is the source of that debt? FinSac. Who were the beneficiaries of FinSac? You know them. You know them. Became billionaires on the backs of the Jamaican people. And then now, turn around, come now. I tell you, say, time come. Time come for you lift up. Time come for you lift up from Boya. Follow the rhythm and take with yourself. I tell you again, sir. The truth is, nobody don't really want Mark Golding to be Prime Minister of Jamaica. No, let me talk facts. No. Nobody don't want Mark Golding now. Because half of the PNP can't wait for the election done that they can leadership of the People's National Party. If you listen to the arguments that are propelled by the PNP, as unsound as they are, the idea, and he's not the intellectual leader, because that now belongs to Damian Crawford exclusively. What is he leading? Not at all. The only people who want Mark Golding to be Prime Minister is someone who stand up behind him in a press conference. And all they say to them is this: take The advice of PJ Patterson, who said some years ago, you can't give hungry man your fish. Figure. Nobody wants it. He knows it too. He's unsure about his leadership. And you watch him pivot from one point to the next point, trying to do something nobody really knows what exactly it is. So, when Wilmington cuss, they run out. The police, lock up Wilmington. And then the next week, I am that. I am that. Yo. Eh? I don't really know, but I don't really know in business, but you have to take your time with the cane juice there, you know.
John Crobati.
Fermentation.
You can't we do things to you, you know. And when you mix it with the boom, you know, them boy call it special. You have a special for what is special. Drop your ground. So, back to the very serious matters of development. They are not prepared. They are not prepared. One of them recently spoke about taxing imported food items. Can you imagine that? Put a tax on rice and flour and chicken back in order to fund. I don't even know what it was that he were fund with this new tax money. When the IMF has already warned us about these specialized taxes and the distortion that they create in the economy. Heading back to the same road that put us into the financial bind. I'm saying to you, be careful. Let's not entertain them. Let's not entertain them. Because their intentions are not sound for this country. We're finally getting it right, Jamaican people. This year, we are boasting above average passes in math and in English for Jamaica. Jamaica outperforming the average for the Caribbean. This year, we are celebrating an almost 50% reduction in murders. This year, we are celebrating the largest net international reserve that our bank was saving book, you know. The savings account that Jamaica has never had so much money like what it have now in history. This year, we are celebrating 9 straight years of no tax increases. In fact, the man rolled back taxes and GCT. Rolled back transfer tax. And he has announced that he wants to roll back the income taxes. So, we don't have to ask if you're safe with Andrew. You're safe with Andrew. And you must and see the vision that I've put forward and send me to the parliament. And I know that an expansion in the National Social Housing Program is necessary. We have to rapidly deliver some more houses to people who cannot afford to live. Children on dirt floor with the roof. I don't even know what to call it. What to call it, man. Okay? And I'm saying, I looked at them and I said to myself, it don't matter what happens. I am making a personal commitment to you to come back to you and let us work on a building for you. And I know that when I make an appeal for that particular family, it won't take us 6 months to build them a house.
Sure.
Because no person should live the way that I saw them. So, we have work to do in Northwest Clarendon. We have work to do. I said to you, I want the community to return to kindness. I don't want to see widows, old men who have to live by themselves, being uncared for. You know, take nothing now for if we go chop the bush in the yard. That they don't stumble over weeds in order to access their houses. You know, take nothing off of us to send a plate of food over there to make sure that they have had a proper meal. None of us can go broke doing that. It takes nothing off us to go and clean up. Sometimes when you push the door and you go in there, right? I went to one in our community and you could see the whole and him eat. Him eat and him put down the containers. And because of the condition of the walls and so on, rats. Then he's diabetic. When I look at the leg, I saw a wound on the leg. And I said to myself, this is dangerous. And I sat outside and I said to myself, you know, I'm not going to leave him here now. I'm not going to leave him here. I don't care. Them tell me say I have some relative that was elsewhere and blah, blah, blah. And I say I'm not leaving him here. Not going to leave him. And when I take up my phone and I call to the hospital, they give me one story. Oh, all right. I call to the region and I can't get no answer because it was a public holiday. And I said to myself, then I want me a call. Let me know the minister number. So I call the minister and I said to him, say, you have an issue. And I tell us within an hour, the ambulance turn up, take him up out there, and by the next day, they amputate the leg. Because I was right in what I saw. I mean, think about it. I mean, think about the neighbors who are supposed to be protecting him because he lives alone. We see in our communities the people who are in danger. But we are fixated on our own problems. We have to move beyond it, Mount Pleasant. We have to move beyond the narrow self-interest. As hard as it may be on you, we still have a God-given duty to look out for our neighbor. And I want to, through the Citizens Association movement, through the youth club movement, restore those values to our communities. Because they are not dead. They are right there. They only come out though when the situations are extreme. Because I see it all the while, you know. If the situation is extreme, nobody now will tell you nothing. Everybody start run and do what they're supposed to do to make sure say we get back to our right. All I want to happen is that we don't wait anymore on the extreme situations. We don't wait on the extreme situations. We do what we can every day to ease the suffering of those who are unable to help themselves. I think you get the message. So let me turn now to the politics. I know I am new. 5 months on the job. I walked the community. I visited all the houses I could. Some of you were not home. So them say, why am I not see him? But you hear me come, not true? You hear me forward now. I know it's a tall ask. But I want you to trust me with your vote. I'm saying to those of you who are workers, redouble your efforts. Go to all of our people and encourage them to come out in this election. It is more than just you and I. It is an entire nation that is dependent on you to do the right thing. That's why we say choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica. So you have to go out there and work extremely hard to convince the people to come and do what their civic responsibility is. I want to sound a warning to the young men, young people in general. Don't fall victim to what is being advertised as vote buying. The young people in particular. Don't fall victim to it. Because it is not your vote that you're selling. I know your vote. It is your future. They are willing to give you cash because you don't know the real value of what you are exchanging. Resist them and this money argument. Too many people died to give us the right to choose a government. For us to just take for granted that this franchise can be exchanged for a few dollars. I know you are frustrated with the wait sometimes to get access to a farmer card. Don't let them promise you it as a sweetener. Because they will have no greater access to the farmer card than I will have. They have nothing to offer you in Mount Pleasant. In fact, they used to ignore here. And all of a sudden, they run in every night. From the bush, the road, and patchy, the whole them. Every night, they run in. When them have their money in their pocket and could do the same thing, they wouldn't do it. Because they don't care about how you live. What they want is access to the power that they can continue with the victimization of communities that they have done for every time that they have gotten the opportunity to serve. So choose wisely. I am not ashamed to tell you, I am the best option on the ballot in 2025. So labor rights, friends, comrades who are listening, Wednesday cometh in a short time. The weight of the decision that is on your shoulders is heavy. But if you clear your mind, you will see that you only have one option, and that is the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party. Put your X beside the bell. Beside the bell. If anybody have any questions, I'll take them, but you can ask me right afterwards. I look like this. Wrap up and seal. Alright? Bless up on yourself. Every time. Every time.
I saw one. They're asking what you plan to do for Northwest Clarendon. to reduce the import of goods in Jamaica.
Okay, great. Well, one question came from online about thing there. We just announced. We just announced the agro park for Whitney property. Major thing that is to increase. It's a very productive. Have you heard of it? How many farmers are down there? Somebody told me it's like 70 farmers over there already. Yeah? No farmers down there. So what they are doing already on the property, we just want to enhance it by providing the type of government services to make sure that it is fully irrigated, to make sure that it has post-harvest storage facility, and of course to deal with the drainage down here because there's an issue with flooding during certain times of the year. So that's gonna be major.
Then can give one mic. Can that one come?
One of my questions is about health. I haven't heard you talk about investment in health for the people. So you talked about the man with the leg ulcer, but he should have had that looked after at home, yeah? Not have it amputated. So what investments are you going to give from like Mandeville Hospital, which is trying to cover a huge area, and new equipment? I was there once the X-ray machine was broken. It needs decorating. Your beds are old-fashioned. I mean, you talk about looking after the people, but I haven't heard any policies, even from Chris Tufton, in regards to how are you going to look after your ageing population? That's my question from your party.
Yes. Very good. Check.
Check. One. Yeah, that's a very good question. So, within on the border of this constituency is the Percy Junior Hospital in Spaldings. Now, Mandeville is the regional hospital, and the Ministry of Health classifies them in different. They are in different classes. The facility, all of them need expansion. But I want to assure you that the largest spend in Jamaica's history on expansion of hospitals is taking place right now. Largest spend. We're increasing the bed count right across the country. In addition, the focus has been on primary health care. So all of our clinics, which are local, I think the nearest one here is Banana Ground, right? Porous is the one they use. And Belfield. So the aim is to expand those to provide services, curative services near to the community. But an important message shift that has taken place under this administration is preventative medicine. Or people
this program will stop down with one call again.
Oh, I know what. I just did.
The Minister of Health, Tufton, launched a program that looked at our exercise levels, looked at nutrition, which has taken off in this country. I want to replicate that through the Citizens Association movement here. In the first instance, let's begin to look at the lifestyle challenges that we face that is making us sick. Yeah? So first, no, so I want to deal with that first. Let's start there. Let's, through the Citizens Association and the youth clubs, look at the lifestyle challenges that are making us sick. The smoking, the excessive drinking, the lack of exercise, inadequate sleep, the types of food that we eat, salty, fatty, and sugary. And when you look at what's making our people sick, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, we have to, and the cancers, we have to look at how to reduce the risk factors.
But you still will have comorbidities like
Jamaica move.
hypertension, heart failure. They are
Jamaica move.
But you've got an aging population here, yes?
Yes, we do.
The younger population, a lot of them are in foreign, yeah?
Yes.
So, I understand the education, we're doing that in the UK to change lifestyle, but that's a 10-year growth, that's a 10-year time. Now, what are you doing that's going to support my family here, that they can manage the
So, I've asked for an expansion. I've included in my manifesto position an expansion of the Percy Junior Hospital. You raised Mandeville Regional, it's not within my purview, but the Percy Junior is.
I'm talking about your party.
Yes.
Your party.
Right, so I'm asking for an expansion of that particular one. Right? The bed count there is just about 230, and I think it really needs to be twice that to deal with the population, because we also have to reduce the numbers that are flowing into Mandeville Regional, because the overcrowding that is there is brought about because of inadequate space elsewhere.
And how will you fund it?
It is, right now, the expansion is being funded through PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization, and the IADB has provided financial support additionally to that. So it's a major restructuring program that is taking place. But also, you'll come to realize that as the debt continues to reduce, the government's ability to fund its own programs is increasing. So we have repaired over 300 primary health centers using Government of Jamaica's money alone.
Expanded the clinic.
And we have expanded them.
Sure, you all right.
I would love you to tell the community here what the government. Good evening, everyone. I would love you to tell the community that our workers they can go out and tell them what the government is doing, especially in our health system where we have free health care and other stuff. You know, and we can go out and tell them. Because the good thing that the government is doing. Because when the PNP come back in, we have to go pay for every single sanitary thing. Sure, Liberate?
That's right. Yes, I mean, we have expanded the national health funds offering to Jamaicans. Everybody should have their health card. And for many people who are facing chronic diseases, they are now paying very little for the drugs that treat those diseases, or none, right? And every year we add to the number of ailments that are covered, treatment that is covered under the national health plan. Beyond that, we have had a fund, a compassionate fund, to look at extreme circumstances. So people who are facing life-saving surgery and so on, they have been able to get funding, in some instances even to travel overseas for medical care.
Prosthetics.
Right? Can get help to replace it. So, I mean, health services have really grown. We want to add more dental services here and more optical services. And we want...
Everything, brother, where people want you already.
You want me DJ? Like all another question, I don't want me DJ.
Jackson.
So, well, what you think about questions just like these? They blow them with just with these. One sharp tears are just like these. The people say we must go and go and proceed. Warren, you alone will trust me, deal with it. Warren, you alone will trust me.
Good night. I can't help but notice the road condition, by Garlogi going out to. So, what's the plan for that?
Why the roads are bad, friend? I'm telling you. In fact, I would say 95% of the roads in Northwest Clarendon are in need of repair. And it's an awesome task. A huge budget is required to repair them. What we're going to do, and what has started already, is to look at the main corridors that are linking the commercial centers. And this is one of the thoroughfares that leads to the highway and all the way to link with Riches onto Spaldings. So to come from Belcarry is where the road stops, all the way to Poros, is mega millions of dollars. I'm going to approach JSIF. I'm going to approach JSIF about this particular road. And I know you will never get it at once, but to do it in phases. So it is one of about 10 that I want to approach them, that they can phase them. And I want to thank JC because they have been doing an excellent job here. And I want you to pick up Councillor Colin Henry because he's currently completing a project in Smithville that is called the Top Quarter Project. And JSIF is the agency that he approached, and they are doing it's near completion now. I think they're finally the road that they can put on the asphalt on it. I must tell you, I'm very pleased. My last visit here, when I think about what was there before and what is there now, right, I'm pleased. And I think the the same approach can be taken, you know, for us to start where the road stops, come through Belcaris, and make our way down into Cumberland and then down into Garlogie and continue on its way until we are able to go to Porus in phases. Any other questions?
Show again.
All we are waiting on a Wednesday.
Show
All we
again.
want a Wednesday.
Show again.
Well, we're ready up. All right.
Ready and we ready and we
That's
get
been a good
on
evening.
we way.
That's been a good evening. Big up on yourself. One love. Tomorrow, we're going to be in Belcaris. It's a rally in Belcaris tomorrow. So, come out, man. Right? Come together, let's have a nice, good, big meeting in Belcaris. And make sure everybody come and we're happy and feel good and continue to spread the message. Alright? Bless up. Good night. Good to see you.
This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Thanks for watching.